You're not bothered, you say. Yet, if, as you say, that there are plans to impeach you, if an impeachment motion makes its way to Parliament, you will need members of Parliament to make a case for you, because it is them that vote.
That is their decision, Sam. My position is very, very clear. I was elected by the people of Kenya, okay? It is the people of Kenya who will confirm whether I'm working well or not. But if members of Parliament...
How will they decide?
If members of Parliament
Yeah.
are persuaded, intimidated, coerced to remove me from office, so be it. The matter is there. It's that simple. There are no issues. One, I have no capacity to coerce any member of Parliament. I have no capacity to intimidate any member of Parliament. I have no money to bribe any member of Parliament. If members of Parliament want to impeach Deputy President Gachagua, so be it. If they have issues with him that are constitutional, that meets the threshold, and they want to go ahead and send him home for whatever crimes he has committed, there's nothing Gachagua can do about it. That is their purview.
Yet, Deputy President, including the meeting that you're attending today in the city, some of the members of Parliament you're working with were saying that we have seen the dog, now we want to see the owner of the dog. What does that mean?
You can ask the ones who made those
It has been repeated in several meetings that you attend.
I did not make those statements. Those are questions you can ask those who made
Are you concerned that such kind of language is being used in your presence?
Well, all kinds of languages I've used in many meetings, including where I am personally abused. And that is what is happening. The country is in that mood of abuses, of tough talk, of campaigning, and there's nothing I can do. I have not studied it.
Does it bother you?
It bothers me a lot.
So what are you going to do about it?
Well, it's up to our boss to decide what should be done, because he is our party leader. He can call a PG and bring down the political temperatures, tell the members of Parliament to stop attacking each other, ask those who accompany him who abuse the Deputy President to stop, because if he told them to stop, they'll stop. Ask them to stop these night meetings. If he told them to stop, they'll stop.
By your boss, you mean the President?
Yeah. If he did, they'll stop. It's really him to provide leadership so that the country can go back to work. We have many challenges as a country. We have promises that we give to the people of Kenya. We have stored projects that needs to be completed. We have pending bills over 900 billion that we need to pay. We have housing program. We have health issues. We have issues of business. It is unfortunate that the country has been put in an election mood. You know, people are just talking about politics, how they'll impeach so-and-so, how so-and-so is useless, others are calling others snakes. There are all sorts of things that are going on. It's really upon the President of the Republic of Kenya, who is also our party leader, to put his house in order.
What responsibility do you take for what's going on?
Well, I have no responsibility, because my team answers to what is going on, because we are also politicians, and if there is an onslaught against the Deputy President, he too has people who support him. If you abuse him in meetings, the team that supports him will also answer. That's what happens, because they cannot just keep quiet. So it's upon our boss, President William Ruto, to call his house to order.
Have you spoken to the President?
Yes, I've talked to the President several times,
and
I've asked him to call his house to order. Yeah, he's here to do it, and I trust he'll do it, because the atmosphere we are having, the environment we are having in the country is toxic. Kenyans are very unhappy about what is going on. How can people be meeting possibly at this time to discuss how to impeach a Deputy President when the country needs a lot of work to be done, when we have roads that have stalled for years, when we have people who cannot pay hospital bills, when we have challenges of water, when we have issues of a good business environment? How insensitive can we be to the Kenyan public that we can sit to discuss on how to dispose of a Deputy President who is in office, when there are very many issues of very great concern to the people of Kenya? I would rather, if it were possible, all of us to agree to go back to factory settings and be very fair to the people of Kenya. We were just elected 2 years ago. We have not delivered on the promises that we give the people of Kenya. Yet we are back there now saying so-and-so is bad, talking about 2027. Even some people had started talking about 2032. People are looking for running mates. People are saying Gachagua will not be this, so-and-so will be this, so-and-so can join with the so-and-so. I mean, it's very unfair to the people of Kenya. It's extremely insensitive. And I would rather, if it is possible, our boss, President William Ruto, to call his house to order.
Okay.
Because if he called his house to order very decisively, this house will get into order and people can go back to work and everybody can do his work. You know, everybody has our work is well spread out. The president has his job to do. I have a job to assist him to deliver on the mandate. Members of parliament have work to do in terms of legislation and oversight. Governors have work to do in terms of running the counties. Everybody has work to do. Okay. We have just come from an election.
Right.
Kenyans are very irritated by what is going on. It's really not fair to the people of Kenya.
And Deputy President, you're saying you'd rather if it were possible. For how long have you been trying to speak to the president to put the house in order?
I don't want to go into the issue of discussing my boss, the president. But I have told you, I've raised the matter with him. I would rather we leave it there. I believe in the fullness of time, he'll appraise himself on the situation that is in the country.
But you also expressed doubt when you say you'd rather if it were possible.
I have asked him to put his house in order. So I believe he'll put his house in order because what is going on is not sustainable. It is not right. You know, it is very insulting to the people of Kenya, really, to get the country into the kind of toxic politics that is going on, the kind of insults on the altar that are going on, you know, the kind of disrespect to the deputy president who is elected by the people of Kenya, you know, in front of the president, in front of the churchgoers. What is going on is very, very unhealthy. It is not right. And it should come to an end.
Okay. And as you say that, so how is your relationship with the president?
My relationship with the president is okay. We have got a good working relationship.
What does that mean?
We work well.
But you're asking him to do something because your career is on the line here, and it's not happening.
My career is not on the line. By the way, Sam, those things don't bother me. I'm a very simple guy. I just came here the other day. For 57 years, I was there doing well. If today members of parliament and senate decided that I go home, my home is a few meters from here. My clothes here will not even fit in a pickup. I just take and leave. It's not that. It's about the people of Kenya. It's not about impeaching Rigathi Gachagua.
If your relationship...
It's what it will do to the country in terms of political stability. He's a deputy president who is elected by 7.2 billion Kenyans, who has a following of one kind or another, and who have some people who believe in him. And we are having a country that is having challenges economically. We're having people feeling low, feeling down. And then you want to come and poison the political atmosphere. I don't think anybody wants to go into that direction. But if that's the direction whoever is arranging wants to go, so be it. There's nothing I can do. The matter is beyond my purview. You know, let whoever wants to go ahead with it, go ahead with it. All we are doing ourselves is we'll inform the people of what is going on. And that I will do, by the way, because I have a responsibility also. You know, I'm elected. And going forward in the next few weeks, I'll be talking to my supporters and telling them what's going on, what is being planned, what is likely to happen, so that they are aware. You see, we are elected by the people. We have a responsibility to always inform your employer what is going on, so that they know, so that they are aware of what is going on, because people wonder what is going on. We have a responsibility as leaders to inform the people, because they are the ones who have given us this job. I was not given these jobs by the president. I was not given by members of parliament. The president nominated me and proposed to me for confirmation by the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya, by a popular vote, confirmed President William Ruto's nominee, Rigathi Gachagua, as the right person for the job.
Right.
But the people who gave me this job are the people of Kenya. And therefore, if there are issues along the way that I find disturbing, that I find that they can cause political instability in this country, that I find they can be intrusive, and they can disrupt our development agenda, they can disrupt our political stability as a country, I have a responsibility to go to the people who voted for me and explain to them exactly what is happening. And that I will do. And I have started today. And I'll be doing that along the way because I am answerable to some people. I cannot just sit here in Karen. Meetings are going on at night. You know, people are being intimidated. People are being coerced, you know, to disrupt, you know, my term, to stop me from doing my work. And I just sit here. I cannot. I'll go to the people and say, good people, you gave me the job. Are you happy with what I've done so far? Yes or no?
Okay.
If you have a problem you want me to correct, but my people, this is what is being planned. And it is so and so who is planning it. So when you see it happen, please know this is what is going on.
Deputy President, I take note that you keep going back to that conversation about the meetings and the plans that are being made. Do you think the President knows about those meetings?
Well, I don't know whether he knows, but many people in those meetings quote him, but he's not there. So I have no confirmation.
How do you know they quote him?
No, it is reported to me. They say, they invoke his name, that he is the one who has authorized those meetings. But since he's not in those meetings, I cannot accuse him. But the truth of the matter is, the way we work as UDA, as Kenya Kwanza,
Yeah.
any motion of impeachment in the National Assembly to remove the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya will never find its way to the House unless the President approves. That's the way we work. Any contentious issue that comes to the National Assembly, the finance bill, this and that, the President will call a PG and say, this is our agenda, can you go and prosecute it? So, even as people are planning, if that motion will ever find itself to the House, it will have to get the approval of President William Ruto. So it will be his motion, because he'll have to approve it. So since we have not reached there, I don't want us to say anything about it. Okay. But that is the truth, because we have a way we work. That is a very heavy matter. It is not a matter that can be taken to the floor of the House unless the President has given a nod. And
on that specific matter of alleged impeachment, have you spoken to the President about it?
I spoke to him once, and he said he has not heard about it, and he doesn't know about it, and according to him, he said it's foolish, and nobody can try something like that because it can destabilize the country. That's what he told me in his own words. And thereafter, there was a meeting. He called members of parliament, and the matter stepped down. The matter has come up again. I have not asked him again. When I get an opportunity, when he comes back, I'll raise the matter again with him. I'll say, Mr. President, a meeting was held here, this was said. A meeting was held here, this was said. What do you have to say about it? Mr. President, do you want us to destabilize this country? Are you part of it? What they are saying, the President will pronounce himself on the matter. But I want to say that there is no motion of impeachment against the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya that can find itself on the floor of the House unless the President of the Republic of Kenya gives a nod. Okay. And again, even if it was to go there, nobody else has the capacity to push it through. It's only the President himself. There is nobody else who can. Getting 233 members of parliament, it's only him who can push it through. But that's another discussion for another day.
Don't you think that's a problem? Because the Constitution of Kenya has separation of powers between the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. Are you admitting that parliament is controlled by the President?
What I'm saying in Matter Kenya Kwanza, UDA, serious contentious decisions are agreed in a PG convened by the President. You saw the finance bill, he's the one who was driving it. So that tells you the way our PG works. Anything contentious, anything with serious national implications will have to get the nod of the President.
And I understand the political party democracy, but are you comfortable that a House business must get a nod from the President, including a clause on oversighting the Deputy President, in this case, invoking Article 150 of the Constitution?
That is the reality of our Kenyan politics.
Do you see a problem there?
That is the reality, that all major decisions, all legislative agenda for our administration that needs to go to the National Assembly, the President normally does a lot of lobbying, sits with the members of parliament, takes them through, gives the points for or against, and asks them to support. That has been the practice. And it did not start with the President William Ruto. It's as old as history. Because every government has a legislative agenda. So the President will call his PG and whip his members into a certain direction.
You know, you sat in Parliament the previous, last term. Would you have been okay for President Uhuru Kenyatta to control how you are going to make decisions in the House?
Well, in matters government agenda, it is right because the party that is in power has a responsibility to ensure that the president and his administration succeeds. And they have a responsibility to support his legislative agenda. So it is important that once in a while, when there is important matters of government before the House, the president will convene a meeting and persuade his members why they need to support that legislative agenda, and he will whip them into action. There's nothing wrong with the president whipping his people in a certain direction.
So when is the last time you got instructions from the president
On?
Executing your mandate in terms of assisting him?
No. I have clear duties given by the president in Executive Order number 1 of 2023.
Yep.
The president doesn't give me day-to-day instructions. I have many functions that I do, very many, by the way, and one of them is any other duties assigned by the president. That is the one now is on day-to-day.
So when is the last time you got such kind of an assignment?
I think I was in Nyeri, agricultural show last Friday to represent him. I was in Mombasa the other week to represent him in the agricultural show. Those are functions assigned to me by the president on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, all right. And that weekend, particularly on Sunday, you were expected at an AIPCA church event that the president was attending. Instead, we saw you at the Our Lady of Sorrows in Kirinyaga. Why didn't you show up for the other event?
No, I think people talk from ignorance. There were two functions.
Yes.
That the president was expected to attend, one in Kirinyaga and one in Nyeri, two functions. They were in his diary, and aligned my diary with the president's diary. And therefore, I was in Kirinyaga to receive him. When I was in Kirinyaga, I was informed that he had changed, and he would attend a function in Nairobi. So I purposed to attend the one in Kirinyaga and join him in Nyeri later. But the function I attended was the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church Mass takes 2 hours and can never be interrupted. So I sat through the Mass. By the time the Mass was over, the president was already in Nyeri. Okay? So I could not leave the Mass halfway and go to Nyeri. So I decided now that the president is already in Nyeri. Even if I left Kirinyaga and tried to fly to Nyeri, I'll find he's leaving. So it will not make sense. So I decided to stay in Kirinyaga and represent him. By the way, he was the chief guest in Kirinyaga, and there was even a plaque. So I sat through, and even the presidential dais was there. I sat there through, you know. But I think some people, some mischievous people in Nyeri who works around the president, put an empty chair, knowing very well I'm in another function, and took photographs just for mischief. You know what happens in the presidency. There's a lot of mischief around.
You know, you say mischief, but that seat was next to the president.
Yeah, it was there. But everybody, you know, my protocol people said I'm in Kirinyaga. So it was unnecessary to put a chair there that is empty when I'm not there. I was in Kirinyaga, and everybody knows I'm in Kirinyaga. So they should have removed the chair or get somebody else who
had you confirmed that you'd be in the Nyeri event?
Yeah.
Had you confirmed that you...
Yes, I had confirmed I'm in Nyeri.
So it is in order for them to put a chair
there?
No,
but we give information that we cannot make it. The minute the president arrived, before I left Kirinyaga, it was logistically not possible for me to go to Nyeri.
We have information that part of the reason why I didn't go to Nyeri is because you got intel that there are people who had been organized to heckle you.
No, your intel is wrong. Nyeri is my home. Even if there was anything in Nyeri, how can I not go to my home? Nobody, for the avoidance of doubt, can heckle me in Nyeri, in the Mount Kenya region. Nobody. I attend all functions.
Yep.
I attend all functions, and I don't need to organize anything.
Okay.
So that intel you have is wrong, is mischief. I was in a function in Kirinyaga, and everybody saw me. Your people are there throughout the Mass. So I don't know why people want to decide for me.
So who represented the message of the president at the Kirinyaga Mass?
In terms of?
The president's message.
In terms of what?
His contribution.
There was no Harambe. We did not go for Harambe.
What did the governor of Kirinyaga say?
He said the president has given us some money, which is okay. There's no problem.
Don't you think you should be the person to deliver such a
Well,
message?
that's the decision of the president. I cannot decide for the president what he wants to do with his money. That is his money. I have no right to ask the president to give me his money to take where he wants to take it. If the president was to send Anwar to a meeting where I am with his money and not send me, that is his decision, and we must respect it.
Does
And I
that
cannot
show a
complain
good
about it.
working relationship between the president and the
I
deputy?
don't know. I don't read much out of it.
You don't
Because I was not going for Harambe. I had not talked to the president, so he did not send me. I just went for mass and was there to receive him. But if he has decided to send somebody else with his money for a function in my presence, that's a decision the president makes.
Okay.
It used to happen all the time during the time of Uhuru Kenyatta. All the time that was happening, William Ruto as deputy president would be there. Somebody else would turn up with condolences and read when he's there. You know, I think these things.
And there was a problem that time.
If I don't know whether President William Ruto had a problem with it, I don't have a problem.
He made it clear that there was a problem.
If he had a problem with
You
it,
actually spoke
I
about
don't have
it
I don't
yourself.
have a problem with it myself.
You don't have
I'm
a problem
quite
with it.
happy.
Okay, but you have also been